Hello, Management 301 class. My name is Kyle Coughlin. I am doing my organizational behavior research project on the movie Apocalypse Now. I hope that you enjoyed that first clip to start things off. I have a couple more of those funny parody Apocalypse Now movie clips sprinkled in, so you can look forward to see those, and let's get right into it. So the way that I'm going to conduct this podcast part of my research project is I'm just going to go down the list from the micro and macro level concepts that we learned in class. The first one that we learned about was diversity. So let's get right into that one. All right, so the first topic of diversity I want to hit is the diversity between white and black soldiers in this movie. If you look at other movies such as Full Metal Jacket, you can definitely see a racial divide between the two. But here in Apocalypse Now, we don't really see too much prejudice go on between the two factions. According to the Library of Congress, 31% of combat soldiers in the Vietnam War were African American. So the representation of a good amount of black soldiers and a good amount of white soldiers is very accurate in regards to history terms. But this movie more follows a man on his journey. It isn't so much about the overall Vietnam War. And actually half the movie takes place in the jungles of Cambodia, where the final mission is, which we will get into a little bit later. So we see chaotic teamwork between these white and black soldiers. And I do say chaotic, but it is overall teamwork. They are overall all fighting and trying to go for the same goal. And I think a lot of that has to do with them coming from the same environment. So according to Vietnam War statistics, 76% of American soldiers fighting in Vietnam came from lower or middle class homes. So I think the similar backgrounds that all these soldiers have been through and their living situations brings them closer in the fight. The next piece of diversity I want to get into is analyzing Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore and his soldiers. So we first see Lieutenant Kilgore when he gets off the helicopter, and you can instantly see the confidence and the power that he emits on the battlefield. You can often find him standing very cool, calm, and collected with his shirt off and his cowboy hat on. And while everyone else is scrambling for cover, everyone else is scared, they're freaking out, Lieutenant Kilgore stands tall, unfazed by what's going on around him. And he overall has a very optimistic, forward-looking attitude towards him, with one of his great quotes, "This war is going to end someday."
Someday this war is going to end.
And the last piece of diversity I want to hit is examining the plethora of characters that we find on the boat going up the Nung River, the boat PBR street gang. And they're all different ages. They come from different backgrounds and ethnicities. And their methods can be quite frantic at times. And I think that shows how different people handle different situations. And I think it really reminds me of one of our in-class exercises where we got in focus groups and we discussed the positives and negatives of having a diverse staff in the workplace. And one of my arguments was everyone has their own way of solving problems, and I think that this can cause conflict and turmoil between employees. And we see that multiple times throughout the movie, seeing how different members of the boat handle themselves and handle different situations.